Привет и добро пожаловать другой video. Piggystroika are the team in Hogs of War that represent the Russians, also known as the Red Team, and they're made up of a bunch of different dudes with some interesting sounding names that fit into that stereotype that Hogs of War brings with every nation it represents. But before we dive into what this team is today, let's take a look at its development and how it's changed in terms of name and personnel. The Red Team have always had the same textures as have every other team in the game, and the textures themselves weren't actually implemented until the alpha stage of development, not fully anyway, for every single team. But Piggystroika didn't always used to be known as Piggystroika. They were previously known not as the Russian army, but as the Red Tuskers, which I guess plays on the fact of pigs and that kind of theme. But they're described as a nation of survivors, a little backwards in their technology and diet, but ultimately capable of adapting to and digesting anything. Equally admired and despised for their pig-headed stubbornness, they should never be underestimated. The Red Tuskers were made up of pigs that had very Eastern European sounding names, that of Mikhail, Boris, Anatoly, Ivan, Grigor, Pavel, Igor, Andrei, Oleg and Vasily. I'm sorry if I butchered any of those names, and I'm also sorry if I butchered the intro as well. I don't know if my translation was good there, but let me know in the comments. Moving into the alpha stage of development, and as you can see, the Red Tuskers remain as, well, the Red Tuskers. The personnel in this team are still the same, and we don't see any changes until later on. The alpha stage was a major turning point for the game because the art style had been figured out at this stage, and it was all down to functionality and gameplay and really fine-tuning those details moving on into the beta. But the main thing that distinguishes the Red Team is the Ushanka that is worn by the heavy weapons dude, and ultimately it is the hat that represents the Russians from this point onwards within Hogs of War. So going into the beta, and we have basically come full circle. The dev team then decided to change the Red Tuskers to the name of Piggystroika, and we have the personnel of Yehudi, Husky, Jetski, Snowski, Pesky, Musky, Dusky, Rimsky and Mule. Do you think that adding ski at the end of everything makes it Russian? I don't know, my name is now Pinstripe Ski. It doesn't quite have a ring to it, but if you know of any other names that are used in any of the other language variants of Hogs of War, then let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know. I know that's a major talking point within the community, being that of the French version or the Russian version itself. Let me know the translations to them in the comments. I'd love to know. But ultimately that is going to wrap it up for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very quick look at the Russians known as Piggystroika. Did you enjoy the video? What do you think of it? Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comments. And like I said, those translations. I will of course be making my way through all the other teams when I get to them. Still 3 to go, and Team Lard as well, which I'm keen to find more information on because there isn't really that much out there currently. And maybe I can shed some light on them as well for anyone who's interested. I do of course have an animation upcoming as well. That's kind of where all of my focus is currently. So if you're wondering why there hasn't been that many videos recently, that is the reason. But yeah, in the meantime, I will catch you guys later for the next one.